What is up, YouTubers? This is your boy Scartoon, and I'm here today to bring another Bleach Brave Souls video. I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on none other than Kiro Buntai Taicho, Tsukubishi Tessai. That's right, I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on the commander of the Kido Corps, Tessai Tsukubishi. So without further ado, let's get into this past character. Alright, so looking at his stats, I'm not particularly fascinated by them. Okay, the only thing that fascinates me is the fact that they're this low. Okay, so stamina 715. This is okay for a range character. It's not really high stamina, but he's a range character, so it's okay. Attack 475. These are range characters, so they usually have lower attacks than like most slasher types. However, you know, we have range characters hitting at the 500 mark, and this is just kind of underwhelming. Defense 301. This is another attribute that is the only standout attribute on him, but we've seen higher defenses before in the past with higher attacks, so not that great. Focus 231. This is below the average, so yet another underwhelming stat. And SP, this is probably the only redeemable quality about him, that, you know, he's a strong attack damage character to boot, and he is 527 SP. That's a pretty decent SP to kind of do sizable strong attack damage. So, I mean, he's not looking too clean here on the stats, but let's get into the soul tree over here. Alright, so looking at his soul tree, you'll notice that he has 6 attainable upgrades, none of which block his path to 150% completion on this character. So for farmers alike, and you'll love this, all you need to do is augment him and provide him with the appropriate jewels, which are defense jewels, and most of us farmers usually have a big buttload of them. Alright, now let's start off with his attainable upgrades. Sprinter. This increases the number of flash steps, always good for a range character, of course. Havoc increases strong attack area of effect. Alright, so that's good. Berserker increases strong attack damage. So he's getting his strong attack buffs on, especially being a strong attack damage user. Adrenaline increases normal attack speed. This is pretty good because, you know, he did have very sluggish kind of speed. Bruiser increases normal attack damage. I do like that because he does do like 2 mini hits, I guess. And lastly, Bombardment, which is going to increase his special move hits. This is a little underwhelming for me, especially since he's a boss killer, so I don't really care about special augmentation on a boss killer because their status ailments normally with Debilitator or something will provide, you know, more damage for the bosses. So without further ado, guys, please enjoy the clips. Running a sad build. Kisuke raid quest, full boosterinos, you know how we do. Sad build. Well, alright, so first things first, since we're running a sad build, we want to test out those cooldown times. So first strong attack, 8 seconds. Second strong attack, 16 seconds, and the last cooldown is 24 seconds. Okay, so this is fairly standard cooldown times by character standards. So let's get into this. Alright, so his first strong attack, very underwhelming, doesn't really do much damage. I like those little double hits that he has with his normal attack string, so it allows you to keep mobs at a distance. Second strong attack hits with a little bit of tenacious damage, somewhere around 3 to 4k when it crits. And the final strong attack, it kind of bothers me. He can't even knock out these, I mean, it's a third strong attack, so it's usually supposed to have the highest multiplier. And it's not really doing much damage. The second one actually seems to be doing more damage. You know, but let's catch a nice meaty mob for this next one. I'm going to launch the third strong attack, and hopefully it's going to do some considerable damage. Okay, so it is like, this attack is particularly a multi-hit. This one is just a one hit. Alright, and then this one right here, the first strong attack, I believe is a multi-hit, and it is his only ranged guard break. So he's not going to be able to, you know, at least it cools down faster than all his other, you know, strong attacks, but that is his only defense against the ranged guard in order to like have good clear times. Alright, but he's not really killing things very quickly. I mean, you do have to apply his NAD when using a SAD build. You're going to have to, use these normals to kind of keep your mobs at bay. I do kind of like him as a character. If I was planning to use a ranged character to farm, all of his moves are directly in front of him. They keep, enemies at a distance. The only problem with this particular character is that he's a little slow because no frenzy, SAD build. Okay, let's test out Tessai special. No tension time. Oh wow, that does a sizable amount of damage. Running a SAR build. SAR build, Kisuke raid quests, full boosterinos. You know how we do. Let's get it poppin'. SAR build. Well, alright. So, first things first, since we're running a SAR build, let's test out those cooldowns. First strong attack, 5 seconds. Second strong attack, 10 seconds. And final strong attack, 15 seconds. Alright, this is probably attributed to that Rangiku. It always makes the cooldowns a little nicer. So let's get into this. Alright, so he doesn't have outstanding damage with his strong attacks, but even with the SAD build, he really didn't. It was just, why? I don't get it. Your strong attack damage character, 80% increase, it's ridiculous. And he also has, I think, a Berserker as well, so it's weird. But he's actually keeping mobs at bay, and that's what his job is when you're a ranged character. Dealing with raids or any types of PvE things that you're going to be partaking in with particular characters that are ranged, you kind of want to just keep mobs at a distance and constantly hit them with DPS. And this is what a SAR build is supposed to provide, and it actually does. As soon as that mob even thinks about closing that gap, you could just provide a little bit extra DPS, or you could, use your strong attacks to your advantage to take out mobs like this because they're quite troublesome. As you can see, it takes him quite a few strong attacks to kind of get rid of things. But the fact that his normals keep everything at bay, they can keep him at a distance. If I just hold the normal attack button, I'm completely safe all the time. It's crazy. He has only one range guard break, which, that kind of stinks, but if you launch it at the right time, especially using the SAR build, you're going to be able to constantly launch these things anyway, and you're still going to be able to do DPS with your strong attacks, so it's not so bad. But the fact that he has this kind of string where he just kind of continuously launches normal attacks, it really helps him as a very safe character viable. Yeah, I'm liking the SAR build. I would add a little SAD though, but yeah, it's viable. Running a NAD build. Kisuke raid, NAD build, full boosterinos. Let's get it poppin'. NAD build. Well, alright. So, first things first, since we're running a NAD build, let's test out that string. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And it's a very fast string, and it launches 2 ranged projectiles. Alright, so he's hitting them up to 1200 a piece almost. 1000 to 1200, so that means he's doing 2k per normal attack because he launches 2 of them at once. So 2k is kind of the norm for these kinds of builds. But since he's like constantly always critting, it's actually really helpful. He's almost doing like, somewhere around 24, and he gets rid of things really quickly. I mean, obviously, NAD builds are usually always faster, but for this particular character in range, it seems to have really, I like his NAD build. I'm not noticing the different, when there's range guard break characters, it usually is very troublesome to get rid of them. Only having 1 guard break, I would have liked if all of his moves were range guard break, so it makes it a little tough to contest with, but at least it's his first strong attack, so it cools down faster than all the rest. And yeah, with a NAD build, this guy, he seems like a very safe character with a NAD build, and I like it better than all the builds. NAD build, no brainer. Well, there you have it. That's my 6-star 100% character analysis on past Tessai. In the end, you find out this character works particularly well with a NAD build as it gets the top score, a SAD build gets the secondary score, and a SAR build gets the final score. And the breakdown for this is fairly simple. When it comes down to a NAD build, he provides a really fast string. He launches 2 ranged projectiles, which is pretty much essentially one normal attack broken up into two. So you can get his nat up to like around 2k, which is standard, but at the same time he provides such a fast string, and he's almost torrent like when he shoots. So he's always standing still practically and taking very small steps forward, but even with those steps forward, he's pushing the mobs back at the same consistent distance. So he kind of keeps that same gap, and his strong attacks can support him if mobs close in that distance. So it's really good to use a nat build on this character. The only one gripe about it is that he only has one ranged guard break move, and that's his first strong attack. So it has the best cooldown time, but it's still only one ranged guard break move. Alright, so that's the only problem with this build, but it still has the fastest clear time. When it comes down to a sad build, if you capitalize on his strong attacks, you can actually increase it upwards of 80% damage, which is pretty convenient. And also, if you have a little bit more SP, it might be a lot more viable. And it's a lot more viable than a SAR build because it actually provides sufficient DPS and continuous DPS, as his nat string helps with that transition when you're trying to bide your time for those recharges. Now when you run a SAR build, his strongs and normals don't do particularly a lot of damage. It is fast, it is consistent DPS, but at the same time it's not good enough, especially since he has that one range guard breaking move, and it could tie you up on mobs that have range guard, especially if they throw more than one at you, because that range guard breaking move is complete trash. If you do not hit him with the utmost efficiency of it, it's not going to break the guard. That's a problem. Right, so that you might not want to play to that. It might just slow your whole game down. The only time you want to play to this is probably in co-op raids. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If I had to rate this character though, I'd actually give him a B+ rating, because I found him particularly fun to play. And at the same time, let's look at the facts here. He's an orange character, so he's going to be doing stock damage plus. Also, he is a boss killer. And because he's a boss killer, that makes his utility completely viable. And if someone left you in a co-op raid, or if someone left me in a co-op raid with this character, I'd be able to complete it with this particular character. It might take a severely long time to do it, but I can still do it with this character and be completely safe. I'm confident in him. That's why he gets that B+ rating. And finally, he doesn't really cost jewels that I'm not willing to part with, and that's very important to note. His raids aren't too hard to complete, and the jewels, they look right. The price looks right. For a character that has so much utility around him, I'll give him a B+ rating, and I'll say that you have the okay to level him up and max him out, because he's a pretty decent character. But if you're not interested in something like that because you already have your heavy hitters and your Kenpachis and stuff like that, whatever it is, then you might want to just level him up just for the orbs, because that actually works too. But that's just my analysis. You're more than welcome to make up your own opinions on this matter, because that's what this is about, guys. But either way, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll be bringing you more Bleach Brave Souls content throughout the week. I'm your boy Scartoon, and I'm signing out of here. Dude, chill. Productions!